Also, one quick reminder, this is for all media corps writers, that you need to have your articles in by 9:30 tonight. Not 9:59 words, not 9:31, 9:30. Now, we're going to begin our candidate speeches. Now, we're going to start off from Casey County High School, Ms. Sarah Kaufman.
I think we can agree on that truth. We're all here for a reason, and Kuna, our reason, we're here on a path to change the world that we're ready to inherit. We're here to make it a better place than the one we received from our forefathers. Can't think I'm delirious, but I'm so serious. That's why I expose my soul to the globe, the world, and try to make it better for the little boys and girls. He later wrapped on the same track. Kuna, I'm exposing my soul for a minute to show you some of my ideas and beliefs, some of the world issues that are important to me, that I feel passionately about, that I believe are making the world an unjust, imperfect place, and that we can improve. The first restraint on least developed countries is the lack of primary education. In many countries, families must pay user fees for basic education, which are often prohibitively expensive. Many children don't get to learn to read, write, and do arithmetic, as we like to say in Kentucky. I propose that with government funding supported by the WFP and the World Bank, these user fees can be abolished, and every child can receive basic learning, because every child deserves to learn. The second yoke on the poorest populations of the world is the child mortality. 8.8 million children die every year. That's 8.8 million too many. 28% of these deaths are due to two diseases, pneumonia and viral diarrhea. These can be vaccinated against. However, vaccinating 103 million children born yearly in the developed world, that's almost quixotic, but we can at least try. MSF can provide the doctors, but not the funding. However, if each nation were required to contribute part of their defense budget, the effort could easily be paid for. No child deserves to die, especially from a disease against which we could have vaccinated it. A third set of shackles restraining our world is poverty, due to a lack of infrastructure, which discourages economic and personal development, while encouraging infant mortality and disease. While infrastructure improvement is expensive, a three-pronged plan using government funding, participatory development, and private money donations, we could improve the world. We could lift the world out of poverty. The reason I feel strongly about these issues is that I believe that no matter national origin, race, religion, or socioeconomic status, everyone should be allowed the same opportunities and the same experiences. To be simple about it, everyone deserves a fair shot. We strive for this ideal so that our world doesn't become a dystopia where oppression and inequity are omnipresent.
That was 15 seconds. In those 15 seconds, 1,601 children died due to malnutrition. This could have been stopped if the countries of the world would decide to help one another instead of only striving for personal gain. Now, I'm a realist, and we cannot stand here and truly believe that people with totally different beliefs and ideologies can be entirely accepting of each other and have peace. What I believe we can do, however, is be a civil world. And you may say, civil world, are we not civil? And I would ask you, what is civil about our nation spending all their time, brains, and money to create new ways to kill each other, rather than ways to end the famines in northeastern Africa, and come up with ways to help our brothers and sisters in Greece, or to stop the sex trafficking throughout the world? As long as countries' main goals are to build military and help themselves, we as a people and a world community can never move forward. We do not have to believe the same things economically, socially, religiously, or civically. But what we must do is respect our differences. Respect and come to terms with the fact that we cannot force everyone in the world to believe the way you and your specific country believes. We as a world cannot move on until the man in Seoul and the man in Pyongyang can sit across from each other peacefully. Until an Afghan and an Israeli can shake hands without hate in their eyes. And not until wars over resources and beliefs stop can we call ourselves civilized. We are not civilized yet, but the human spirit has proven time and time again that when our minds and hearts are in the same place, we can accomplish anything. A vote for Cale Dunn is not going to mean what I'm asking for will happen soon. But a vote for Cale Dunn is a vote of acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that we as one people will no longer stand for hatred for the sake of hatred and killing for the sake of killing. A vote for Cale Dunn is a vote to change a mindset a millennia in the making. Thank you very much.
And we are the generation to do that through our voices and social media. Recently, my story has had a dramatic twist of events due to an organization called Invisible Children that came to my school last year. They told us of the child soldiers in the Congo and Uganda, and the man responsible for it all, Joseph Kony. A former child soldier named Francis told us of Kony's terror, how he kidnaps kids from their homes and forces them to join his army, or they will die. To hear about this from someone who has actually lived through it makes it even more powerful. Ever since listening to Francis' story, I plan to dedicate my life to helping those children. Invisible Children, my passion to help the world has grown. My first platform is universal education, a major issue. Illiteracy is a growing problem worldwide. For example, the literacy rate in Mali is 26.2% compared to the population, which was an estimated 13,007,000 by the UN in 2003. Many other countries are not only like Mali, but 10 times worse. Also, child health care, which affects every single country. Malaria is by far the most harmful disease. Nearly 1 million people die from malaria each year. In more than 109 countries worldwide, 45 of which are in Africa. This disease could easily be prevented with better health care. Finally, global partnership. Imagine what it'd be like if more countries partnered together. Last year, the United States deployed troops into Uganda after many years of Invisible Children's continuous fight. Imagine what could have been prevented if the United States was involved sooner. I plan on using my voice to change the world. Do you? Thank you. And remember, everyone has a story, but how can your story change the world? So vote for me, Aubrey, someone just like you, and let's see if we can make a difference in the world.
5 big claps. Up next from George Rogers Clark High School, we have Dalton Collinstein.
With the impending doom of 2012 in view, I stand before you to ask, what would you do if you had to choose to change your attitude about 3 things that you see fit to change a little bit in our world today? And no, I'm not going to quit rhyming because I got perfect timing, so I got to start emphasizing what I'm going to say. Well, these Hunger Games are not the Hunger Games. There's people in this food who don't have any food and there ain't nothing they can do, so change your attitude. From hate to donate, let me demonstrate. Take that 10, put it in a bin. Take that 20, get plenty. We paid $200 to get here, and that's a privilege. But $200 in Nigeria can feed a whole village. Stopping world hunger is issue number 1, so we gotta get it done and move on. Issue number 2, which you can earn the cool. Climate change could end our days. If we don't take care of our earth, we'll go return to dirt. Global warming is real, and we can't run from it, so we gotta do what we can, beat it, not join it. The ozone is dying and crying out for help, so we should carbon footprint, but we can save our health. Oil, disease, and dirty energy are things we can't be, so we must change our philosophy and move on to issue number 3, which if you really think about it, is our philosophy. We live in a society where it's more okay to follow than to lead. We live in a world where discrimination over race, religious differences, and income levels is a common piece of everyone's being. We live in a mindset where militant war is the first option of diplomacy. We live in a technologically filled era where nuclear development is used to figure out how to kill people, not to save them. We live in a society where the word terrorist is now used so much. We live in a world where violence isn't the last option, it's the first one. We live in a society where poverty is right alongside us, we don't even recognize it. We live in a world where education isn't available for anybody that wants it. We live in a world where some kids never get a chance. We're creating a legacy where our own selfish ambitions are overshadowing the good we could accomplish as a whole. But still, through all this controversy, through all this criticism, through all this darkness, shines a light and it looks very bright. We have a dream to be what we want to be, not what society makes us out to be, but we must do it as a team. Yes, I see humanity. Well, I'm running out of time, so I'll finish up my rhyme. I hope I gave you a good time. And remember one thing when you're voting, Gallenstein, 2013, we live our dream.
Big clap. All right, next from Henry Clay High School, Barrett Block.
Hello, Kuna. My name is Barrett Block, and I am from Henry Clay High School. At this conference, I will be representing the country of Djibouti, which is hard to spell, harder to find on a map, and even harder to say without laughing. And that is precisely what I love about Kuna, the way that it unites us, the youth of Kentucky, from all corners of the Commonwealth, to learn about the world, to discover the issues facing it, and make lifelong friends. Therefore, I consider it an immense honor just to be standing up here. I cannot be any more grateful to have the opportunity to represent both the Y and the most fine delegation of Henry Clay as a candidate. Now, it is true that the issues that face us today are daunting and formidable, yet that is no reason for discouragement. For standing up here and looking at you, the brightest minds and most passionate young hearts of Kentucky, I am positive that they are problems we can and will overcome. Yet we can only do so when we look to find strength in ourselves. They say that throughout history, in the times of greatest strife, that a leader has always arisen to guide the world through adversity. I'm not standing up here to proclaim that I am that leader, rather that I am looking at 1,000 of those leaders. I have the utmost faith in Kuna to be able to overcome the problems facing the world. For although we may be the youth of today, we will be the leaders of tomorrow. Therefore, my campaign embodies the platforms of infant health, maternal health, and education. For in caring for the generation of today in the womb, in their childhood, and in their education, we ensure that they will be well prepared to face the troubles of tomorrow. Though it is only through the revolutionizing of our generation that we may once and for all vanquish the problems that have been too long plaguing humanity. Therefore, I ask you to join me, Barrett Block, in a movement that will one day change the world. By a leader, by the youth, for the youth, there is no limit to what we may achieve. Thank you.
Big claps. All right, now representing Oldham County High School, we have Ms. Mallory Apples.
Hey Kuna 2012, I'm Mallory Apples, and I want to have your vote for executive committee. That's how I am. I'm blunt, I'm straightforward, and I'm real. I feel that I'm more qualified for this position simply because I've been active in my student Y for 6 years. I've gone to LTC for 6 years. And I'm not up here to win. I'm up here because I believe that I can help you all make the best Kuna next year. Gandhi once stated that we must be the change we want to see in the world. I want to end hunger. That's a huge task, I know, and I can't do it on my own. And the only reason that I think this is such a prevalent issue is because I can't wrap my mind around that there are mansions and gluttony in the world, and yet there is poverty and there is starvation. I don't know how there's waste, but there's not too much to give to others. I've never understood why poverty and hunger has no bounds, and this must be fixed. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going all socialist on y'all. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't understand why everybody seems to have their blinders on and believe that if you can't see it in your own backyard, it doesn't exist. It's out there, and I just want to raise awareness. I also feel like gender inequality and universal education are huge issues that we have in today. We must have proper knowledge in order to form into modern society. We must be all on the same page in order to communicate and to understand one another. And that goes with treating each other as equals as well. No matter the issue, no one man or woman can solve the problems of the past, the present, or the future. But today, together, we can make a stand. We can come up with the solutions. If there's one thing I have learned through all my experience, it's that the key to making a sincere impact is unity. No one person can start a revolution, but many can take success. Thank you.
Five big claps. All right, really quickly, before we go on to our next candidate speech, my chief of staff just alerted me that a phone went off during someone's speech. That is absolutely 100% unacceptable. If you are going to break one of the core values of respect, at least do it silently. Is that okay? You should not do that. going to have our next candidate speech. From Rockcastle County, we have Ms. Rachel Johnson.
Leader. Noun. A person who rules, guides, or inspires others. To be a leader has always been a dream of mine since my first Kuna 5 years ago. Now here I am in front of this assembly with my chance to lead. My name is Rachel Johnson, and I want to be your chance too. As Secretary General, it's not about being your superior chief. It's about guiding you and being the inspiration for you to be the best you can be. There are issues that are near and dear to my heart, and let me address a few of them now. Water. We all depend on it for every aspect of life. However, we must wake up and realize that there is a problem with the world's water supply. 1 in 4 people on Earth do not have access to clean drinking water. Water and sanitation infrastructures are crumbling, and yet we keep using more and more of it, degrading and depleting it. In 2007, it was said that 11% of Europe's population and 17% of its territory had been affected by water scarcity, putting the cost of droughts in Europe over the past 30 years at 100 billion euro. Water still concerns all 500 million Europeans. We must ensure that policies and actions are set with a priority on moving towards a more water-efficient and water-saving economy. Next, the euro crisis. The European sovereign debt crisis has made it difficult for some countries in the euro area to refinance their government debt without the assistance of third parties. This impacts all members of the Union. There is an urgent need for a solution framework. There are many solutions being offered, including a withdrawal of the euro. United Nations and the European Union will work together to solve these crises that threaten our world. Water and a stable economy, both an absolute must. We must have water to live, and we must have a stable economy. Without either one of those, we don't have a chance. So Kuna 2012, if you want your chance, if you want to be guided in the right direction, if you want to be inspired, then vote Rachel Johnson for Executive Committee. I see Paris, I see France, I see Rachel as your chance.
Big class for Rachel. All right, next we will have Amy Rowe from Humanitarian High School.
John Lennon once said, "A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality." Hi, I'm Amy Rowe, and I'm your 2013 candidate for Secretary General. First, I want to share a little bit about myself. I'm from Mountain County, where I'm the current captain of my school's varsity soccer team. This is both a very humbling and rewarding honor, and the leadership skills I've gained are ones that have prepared me to be a confident leader both on and off the field. I'm also a member of Unite Club. And last, but certainly not least, I'm a part of something we all know and love, the why. Being a part of the why has given me confidence to be who I am, to stand up for what I believe in, and to feel like I'm truly a part of something real. But enough about me, because that's not what this conference is about. Change often starts with a dream, a spark of inspiration. And for this purpose alone, I stand by these following platforms. Each year there are many proposals and candidate platforms pertaining to eliminating world hunger and poverty. I refuse to accept the current state of our global status in regards to this ongoing issue, and I challenge you to do the same. Each and every day, we all wake up and attend some type of institute of education. We are provided instruction from highly qualified individuals, the facilities are clean, and our safety is never faulted. Unfortunately, across the world, not everyone has access to proper education, which is why universal education is a vital component of my platform. And last, but not least, I believe it is essential for our world to strive for environmental sustainability. This is our world, the only one we are getting. Let's strive to enact proposals to preserve this vital ecological system for ourselves, for our countries, and for our future. With all that said, I want to inspire you, each of you. Everybody in this room should be proud of who you are, so I challenge each and every one of you to truly stand up and find your voice. Because if we all
big claps. All right, now from Russell County High School, we have Mr. Evan Selby.
Kuna stands for the Kentucky United Nations Assembly. United Nations. The question is, are we truly united? And sadly, the answer is no. We must unite. We must unite to fight world hunger. We must bring our technology together and place agriculture in places that it is not flourishing. We must give the hungry the ability to feed themselves for our success and theirs. For those that feel world hunger, it is not the most important issue in the world. Hunger kills more people annually than malaria, AIDS, and tuberculosis combined. Stand with me, Evan Selby, to fight world hunger. In our unity, we must also find an alternative fuel for the future. For the future. But today we must create an outlet for lower fuel prices. Fuel prices that are on an average of $10 per gallon in the European Union and $6 per gallon worldwide are unacceptable. Unacceptable. They're crippling world economies. Stand with Selby to fuel the future. I ask now that you stand with me literally. Please stand and join hands. Stand up. Let's stand and unite as one conference, as one delegation, as one world. And I ask when you go to vote that you stand with me, Evan Selby. Thank you.
Five big claps, please. I would just like to make one last request, in that normally things like that are quite unorthodox, to say the least. When a candidate makes a motion to do things like that, please do it silently. It just helps to keep the flow of things going a lot faster. All right, and now last, we will have from South Bowling High School, Ms. Caitlin Atkinson.
By building regional safe houses in countries where more than 20% of marriages are of brides 13 or younger. My second platform is to provide full scholarships to citizens of third world countries who wish to receive a higher education not offered in their nation in return for 10 years of service in their country of origin. A majority of the world's problems stem from ignorance. An opportunity for education is the way to end this problem. My third and final platform is to require all member countries of the UN to sign an Ottawa landmine treaty banning the planting of landmines. Landmines intended for an enemy of war kill more civilians than soldiers, and the 2,000 people each month maimed or killed by landmines isn't worth the military power it creates. There are an estimated total of 110 million landmines still remaining around the world, which affect approximately 1 in every 3 countries. It has become obvious that neither military nor governmental powers are making an effort to save those innocent lives. It's up to us. To make a difference, we have to make people watch and listen. We have to start a trend of extraordinary action. We have to do something so extraordinary that we will captivate the world and inspire a change. And with Kate, we'll captivate the world.
Tommy Schaefer, by the way. You all look really tired. You guys are all under the age of 18. You all should not be tired. Anyway, all things aside, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do a 10, 20-second stretch break, you know, stretch your legs. Okay. Alright, so everyone stand up. Now let's kind of get a stretch into this motion. Get the back loosened up. Kind of twist it up. Loosen up your back. Twist to your left. Say hi to your friend to your left. Now turn to your right. Say hi to your friend to the right. Alright, you all look pretty loosened up. Now sit your butts down. And now to actually apply it for our cultural awards.
Thanks a lot for that, really. All right, so before we get going, yes, actually, Timmy, Colton, if you guys would step to the bottom of the stage here, I'm going to need you to accomplish some very important business. Before we move on to our cultural awards, I'd just like you guys to take a second to look around the room, think about when we got here, the Parade of Nations, the Global Village, the international stage performances, all of the different native attires that we've had represented here today. You all have experienced a global whirlwind in a very, very short period of time. So if you participated by, whether it was sewing a stitch on a skirt or hot gluing some sequins or some kind of leaf to a backdrop or painting something or choreographing something, raise your hand if you participated in any of those elements. Give yourselves a round of applause because it takes an awful lot of work to put this kind of stuff together. And I think that your advisors will tell you Kuna takes an awful lot of work to pull off. And every bit of effort that you put in to creating this cultural experience for this conference is what makes it the beautiful experience that we've had here tonight. So congratulations to all of you. We have amazing Global Village booths, some really, really incredible costumes, and I think that this has been an awesome first night of Kuna. So congratulations to all of you. Yes, I mean, go ahead. Here are some things that we look for. We take nominations for your country sign, your native attire, your Global Village display. We take nominations from advisors, from Y staff, and from resource staff, our alumni volunteers. And the criteria that they look for are evidence of being homemade, creativity, evidence that students actually participated in the creation of your cultural displays and costumes and all of that. We look for accurate representation of the country's culture and a respectful representation of the country's culture. It's a lot tougher than it seems, and we're very, very proud of you all for handling this the way that you have tonight, because we've got some really, really great cultural displays. So, we are going to announce 4 finalists in each category. We have ribbons for each of those 4 finalists. So, as we announce category by category, if you would send 2 representatives from your country, if your country or your school is called, up to accept your fabulous ribbon. Christina, can you demonstrate, I believe, what Drew Caldwell would call glorious, wonderful, beautiful ribbons here? Yes, the proper way to actually, Timmy and Colton, if you guys could just step to the ends over here, if you could display, if you can show us the proper way to accept a ribbon whence announced. That's right. They're professionals.